Let's use this model to explore how to set up bolt and nut tightening loads in SimSolid Cloud, and also how to view the reaction forces and bolts after any analysis. You can see here we have some bolts and nuts and washers in our model. Right-click on any bolt and select Info to see that this bolt has been identified as a bolt by SimSolid. This will help us as we set up connections later on. The same is true for nuts. So let's go ahead and create connections automatically with our default gap and penetration tolerances. As SimSolid is creating these connections, it's identifying the bolts and nuts in the models and adjusting the connections accordingly. After creation, we can see that some of the contacts in the list are sliding. These sliding contacts are created in the bolt shanks so as to simulate bolt tightening. If those connections were created as bonded, the bolt would be completely locked and unable to be tightened. With all the parts having been connected, let's go ahead and create a structural linear load case. We'll add an immovable constraint to the bottom just to lock the model in place, and select loads, bolt, nut, and tightening to apply tightening to all the bolts and nuts in the model. And apply a thread pitch. And we can apply bolt tightening in 3 different ways: by number of turns, target axial force, or by a specified torque. In this case, let's apply a specified torque of 10 Newton meters and apply a friction coefficient of 0.1 to each of those connections. And we're ready to solve. We'll go ahead and click Solve, choose our analysis, and solve again to launch the meshless 3 adaptive passes SimSolid solver. After solving, the displacement result is displayed by default. But we can switch that to stress to see where our max stress is in the model. We can also switch to safety factor to be the safety factor for all the bolts in the model. So you can see the minimum's at about 0.89, showing that these bolts may yield under this loading. Now to view bolt and nut reaction forces, just click down the result dropdown and select bolt nut forces, and the window will pop up. Click any of the bolts in the list and you'll see an info dialog pop up on the right with all the relevant information. If you want to view this information as a table, just right click on the header where it says name and select columns and add all the columns you wish to see in the table. Expand the window to view all the info in tabular format. For more information on bolt and nut tightening, click the question mark in the bolt and nut forces window to be taken to the SimSolid help. Here there's more information about how to apply bolt nut tightening and also how the calculations are made. Thanks for watching. For more information, visit altair.com/simsolid.